Yes. Good afternoon, good evening. God blimey, 6 o'clock already. Steamy hot Saturday. Guys, want to welcome you all. It's the Armoury TV. It's the reaction show. We're reaction really to the Rangers versus Arsenal preseason game. And obviously, what I want to do first off is welcome my guest today, Foundations. We have GunnerKing. How you doing, sir? You good?
All good, man. All good. Yeah, and a lot better than I was after the Hibs game, but yeah.
It's all good. It's all good. And guys, I want to get an extra special warm welcome to James. He's a news member that now a part of the furniture for the Armoury TV. James, it's good to have you on board and welcome today, sir. How you been?
Pleasure, man. I'm good. I'm really, really hot, but apart from that, I'm good. It was a good result against Rangers, but yeah, I'm sweating bad.
Yeah. Let's just hope that we won't get too heated on this. And but yeah, listen, today was it was a tougher game, I think, that we had. Was it midweek? Was it Wednesday? I believe it was. Tuesday, sorry. And Steven Gerrard, obviously the Rangers are the league champions, put out quite a decent team today. And just going to put up quickly. This is I'm not sure, and I guess it's pretty much a talking point for us really to kind of try and. This was definitely obviously the starting 11. However, in terms of positioning and trying to kind of see what Arteta is trying to do, we seem to be quite fluid in the way that we are actually approaching tactically in our setup, where I don't know, at some points it looks like we are playing two up top. But King, I'm going to come to you first. Mm-hmm. How do you see us setting up? And I think there's probably go ahead.
I think Balogun started on the left, but I think what happened was it fluidly kind of switched from this to a 4-4-2 with Balogun kind of getting closer to Aubameyang and Smith Rowe slipping out to the left when we were transitioning forward. But yeah, I think he actually named the starting lineup as a 4-4-2. When I checked, when I checked the starting lineup on online, I think I saw it more as a 4-4-2, which was interesting, very interesting.
I thought so too, and I think because I was kind of confused, I looked at it against Hibs, and it looked like he was doing pretty much just that kind of thing. James, do you think that's something where he might try and be using in terms of making us that bit more potent going forward? We're going to come to obviously the performance and the result, but in terms of the way that he seems to be kind of switching up tactics as such. I mean, we all know that is a bit of a problem, us going forward. But do you think that he's trying something here in order to kind of remediate that issue that we had last season?
I think so. I think by having Smith Rowe on the left, we created a lot of overloads. There was a lot of times where, for example, Smith Rowe was on the left, but he was playing. It was almost weird. It was almost as if we were playing a flat three, but he was a left mid. So he was where next to El Neni is, where he was picking up the ball and just running with it. So, I mean, it was interesting to see more of an two up top because... As Gunnar said, where there was a position where Balogun almost scored, but you had Aubameyang that was literally like almost like a left forward, inside forward, and then you had Balogun right in front of him, and he played the ball forward, and the keeper saved it.
Yeah,
but it looked like he was trying a two up top, and it was an interesting attacking decision.
I'm just thinking because obviously, do you remember a couple of years ago? I think when we had that good run in the Europa, when he was pretty much playing Lacazette and Aubameyang. That might be something. Could you imagine if we all know that off the field and on the field that they're good friends. It could be something actually that might come into fruition for us. And I guess then, fair enough, we have Balogun, but if we are kind of switching and that kind of tactical play, do you think that we could be getting another forward? Anyone? King? I don't know. Any kind of, or
I think so.
Another number 10.
I think I'll let James go first.
I mean,
Okay.
I think, well, as you said, we have to get a 10 regardless. We only have Smith Rowe who can play that, and he as a 10, he normally plays as like a left attacking mid instead of that where he's in that pocket. He likes to drift wide. So for me, I think we need a creator, but I only see us signing an attacker if Lacazette goes. But I'm not sure what he wants to go with, because we've seen so many different systems. He's played a different system at Hibs. He's played a different system now at Rangers.
Yeah.
And the strikers we've been linked to are pretty big strikers. They're like, right, okay, we're going to play a ball in the box. Target men strikers, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Tammy Abraham, like that mold. So if we do sign a striker, I don't see how that fits as well. So I to be honest, I have no clue where he's going.
It's true. Go on, King. Sorry.
I think definitely the two strikers thing could be worth trying with, and now that we've got kind of competent midfielders that can carry out that system. If you've got Lokonga and Partey, you've got a bit more kind of athleticism and grit in the centre. If we go and get Basuma, same again. Like if you're playing with that 4 and you go with those two to really kind of impose themselves in the centre of the park, and then to rely on the creativity kind of areas, whilst Smith Rowe would be on the left, maybe he would be a lot more left central, so to say, almost as a kind of force attacking, a force winger, where he's kind of like a halfway house between, sort of a inside forward and a cam, sort of in those half spaces and kind of operating between the two. Pepe can then kind of stretch the pitch because he can go onto his right as well as on his left. Saka can do the same. On the other side, they can come narrow as well if they need to. But I still think the number 10 and having that where you could have a Maddison, Smith Rowe, or Martinelli can then kind of rotate on the left could be something that you would look at. But then I've heard Lisa was saying on Egal's chat that she heard that Arteta said post-match that he is looking to impose more of a 4-3-3 system next season as well. So I think he'll flip between all three, depending on the opposition. I think he'll flip between all three. And I've always stressed, and I will continue to stress, I like it when managers die on their hill with one system. They need to be able to flip between at least 2, if not 3 systems. That's
modern football. That is modern football. You've got to be fluid, and you have to have those players that can fit into multiple systems.
Yeah, and I think with what James was saying about the sort of strikers that we're targeting, target men, would probably be the closest kind of profile to describe them. We don't have any, but actually, if firstly Kieran Tierney, he's an excellent crosser of the ball. Smith Rowe and Pepe and Saka, Martinelli are all very good at getting balls into the box, both on the ground and in the air. Tavares, now the interesting thing about Tavares, he scored his goal today with his right foot.
Right foot,
and he actually uses both of his feet. So
it was a accomplished finish as well. Very accomplished,
there's his first goal, his debut goal for Benfica. Guys, I'll show it to you later. Was an absolute banger from outside the box with his right foot. So he's got goals in him. But the main thing that stands out with Tavares, again, is his ability to cross the ball. He's an excellent crosser of the ball. So if we were to get a striker, I would want it to be a target man, because Aubameyang and Lacazette they haven't even got into double digits of goals that they've scored in the air with headers. And again, we saw today, Aubameyang was wasteful in front of goal, particularly with a header, a very easy header from less than 10 yards from a very good cross from Pepe.
He needs to get a goal quick, I think. Because I guess as strikers will probably attest, the longer you're going without scoring, the longer and longer you go on, the more it plays on your mind in terms of, you know, actually trying to score a goal. And I think he just needs to get a goal in pre-season, something, you know, which is, you know, pretty much his type of trademark kind of goal. And then hopefully then that will bring him in and ready for when the season starts. Guys, just
thing to remember as well is, just very quickly, sorry, we're going to bring better players in. And
listen, this is our second game. We're in mid-July, for God's sake.
Yeah, the encouraging thing today was last season, there were some games where Aubameyang looked starved of chances. He really showed, you know, our ability to create chances today was not the problem. We created a lot. No. And if we create that volume of chances for Aubameyang, Lacazette, Balogun, Martinelli playing up top, and any other striker we potentially bring in, they will score goals. They will score goals.
100%. 100%.
You know, two set pieces let us down today, but we'll get to in a minute. But
that rhythm will come with games, and that's what pre-season's for, essentially.
What I was very encouraged by today was how many chances we created, particularly in the first half.
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%. Yes, so before we move on, first and foremost, like, share, subscribe, everybody, please, to the Armoury TV. Obviously, if you like this little stream we're putting out here, please smash the likes on that. Any comments as well, we're more than happy to have a look and read some out, and that's exactly what we're just going to do now. So just first and foremost, Mr. Silver Fox, shout out to Paxton Road, party boss in midfield whilst Ndombele was packing his bag now. Obviously that's in reference to the little program we did with the Paxton Road lot with party versus Ndombele. I still don't understand what that actual program was about, or why those guys actually agreed to come on with us, but there you go. Laka looked lively when he came on again. I know James, you're kind of like saying he's quite dispensable for you, isn't he, Lacazette?
Yeah, he is. I mean, James mentioned, I saw it pop up as well, that can we attract another striker? For me, for what he does, yes. Like, we have, I think, in Balogun, he has similar characteristics as Lacazette. I think he has a lot more to his game, but what Lacazette does, I think within a season or two, we can mold Balogun to become. You've seen his link-up play with Aubameyang with the midfield, and the way he has his back to goal, and he's
a strong lad. He's a strong lad.
He's really, really good with the ball at his feet. And this is what a system that I'd like to see try if Arteta was open to it. We play a lot with almost wingers that are instinctively forwards, Pepe
inside forwards, so to speak,
for example, right? So if we add the dynamism, like we've got Lokonga now, we've got Partey, if we get Locatelli, or if we get Renato Sanchez or like Basuma, you then have that three that is ridiculous in the midfield. And for me, I'd like to see a system similar to Klopp's, where we have the Firmino-esque that links the two forwards, and then we have the workhorse midfield and our fullbacks create, because we have Tierney, his creative output is outrageous. If we can get the right back sorted, then we might. And I think what Gunner said is, if we can add these pieces to the jigsaw, replacing Lacazette won't be that big of an issue, because it won't be an individual replacing him. It will be a system. Sure. And for me, to answer your question, if we're going on a profile by profile, I think we have that currently in our squad. He just needs to develop. But if we're going on a system basis, we just need to add. We've already got Ben White. We've already got Lokonga and Tavares. We get that central midfielder and then maybe a cam. We can play multiple different systems at a high level, which we haven't been able to do again. Just before, because I know this is obviously a reaction to the Rangers game and everything, but you touched on a point there which had me thinking there, James, right, in terms of we've got Lokonga, we've got Tavares now,
Ben White. We know we need at least one more central midfielder to play alongside Partey. With the names that have been bandied around from, like, you know, your Husama or you know, Basuma, Neves, from those three, I don't know if I should even put Locatelli in that, but from those names, which one would you prefer? I guess the question is for both of you. Which one would you prefer to see in that system next to Thomas Partey?
Basuma. It's not a question for me. It's Basuma. Not because of we don't need an attack of output. I just think as a pivot, or if we want to go with then Partey as an 8 and then Basuma as a 6 as a DM, just allows us to have, again, I go back to Liverpool. If we're talking about workhorse, Thomas Partey is going to be Gini Wijnaldum. And then if we get Basuma, I'm not saying he's going to be as good as Fabinho, but he will have the ball-playing ability to just sit in front of the back four and sweep. And for me, that's will allow us to. Well, Partey's 28, Basuma's 24. Yeah, we've got a lot of years in that field.
A lot of legs as well. A lot of legs in there as well. Athleticism and height.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing I would say about those two as well, people talk about interchanging in attacking positions. Interchanging can happen all over the pitch, right? And with Basuma and Partey, you could have a push-pull system. Yeah, like you could just have them both there. And rather than give one of them a specific 6 and an 8 role, you can say one person needs to, at a certain transition of play, be the 6, the other needs to be the 8. And they can do that. They can actually alternate that role. Because Partey can break forward.
But both of them are all-round box-to-box players. They can do that. Yeah.
So I mean, like, if you've got those two in this kind of Klopp-esque system that James is describing, you know, that way, then you could incorporate a Willock as the third kind of.
I'm going to come on to Willock actually, because I thought he looked quite tidy today.
Willock. I mean, I'm not picking him because I like him and because I gas him up. I'm just saying that then would give you the stability, defensively speaking, to be able to bring Willock in a deeper kind of 8, as an 8, but more of an advanced 8. So out of those 3, he would be the one tasked with the most advanced duties, getting into the box late. You know, the system then going from 3 to him breaking into the 10 position when they're transitioning forward, and then kind of getting into the box, or even going wide, you know, to allow Smith Rowe on the left to come inside. And overlap whilst Tierney overlaps, and he overlaps to create an overload on that side, or then switching on the other side to do the same with Pepe and Saka on the other side. It's very interesting. You know, like if you bring in Neves and Locatelli, what you've got is people that are still sitting deeper, but are more creative, so to say, in terms of their passing range and their ability. You've got 2 guys there that can break lines. You know, when they're passing, if Partey or Basuma breaks forward, those guys can be finding them with their passes as well as the other attackers. And again, Neves or Locatelli, they are no slouches at making late arrivals into the box and scoring or creating chances for assists themselves as well. Yeah. So that's kind of what I want to see happen. You know, I think that mixture of athleticism, you know, kind of tenacity, people that can win the ball, people that can give your midfield a strong physical presence, but at the same time, against opposition where perhaps you're going to have a bit more space to operate in the center of the park, where you can bring on a central midfielder that's a bit more expansive, both with their passing and their ball progression when they're carrying the ball as well.
Sure. No, 100%. I understand all that. And I think it just makes it more important that we get a good right back in, you know, because it's so integral. The right back is going to be so integral for all of that to come together. Just a couple of more of the chats that has come in. Mr. Silver Fox, is anyone going to give my man Bobby Baldwin some praise after the ball he delivered for Tavares' goal, which, by the way, that goal was delicious. I mean,
it was a good assist.
It was a good assist of the assist. Sorry, no, it wasn't the assist. Sorry, it was the assist. Sorry.
It was a good goal. And what I liked about the Tavares goal is, for me now, we have two left backs that have both feet. You saw the goal with Kieran Tierney that scored against West Brom. Like I think it was West Brom last year, where he took on everyone
in the snow. Yep.
Yeah, and he bent it with his right foot. Right. That's two goals now that we've seen from our left back that have just curled in the inside on the right foot. So that is really, really exciting. And for me, as Bobby Bolden wasn't actually that bad today, I give him props. New haircut, did bits.
Exactly. Gems, can Arsenal get the best out of obviously that's Aubameyang this season? I think we can. I don't think he's going to have any problems with.
I think so. I think when we get into stadiums as well, he's one of these players that you saw it at Dortmund. You've seen it when we've had crowds in the stadium. When he's playing well and the crowd is electric, he's almost unplayable. And I don't know if it's coincidental or not, but his worst season or worst period of his career has dipped since the pandemic, since everyone's gone out. Like he hasn't had the energy to feed off of, and it almost gives him the extra leg to go forward and
100%. Some players are just like that. Yeah, no.
When you're a crowd favorite like he is, you're going to feed off the crowd.
Of course.
And he is a crowd favorite. He wears the 14 shirt. The 14 shirt is hallowed, at the carpet on the red cloth as being talismanic. When you put on that shirt, it's the shirt that Thierry Henry, the man himself, wore. For goodness sake. So, you saw what the crowd did to Henry's performances many times.
Yep.
And, with Aubameyang, it's no different. Look, Aubameyang didn't have a good game by all accounts. I'm not going to defend it. I'm not going to defend the chances that he missed in the first half. I'm not going to say that it doesn't create an impression that he might be going into this next season with some of the problems with his confidence that he clearly had last season. But one thing that was very different is he wasn't feeding off scraps today. So
I think he just needs a good preseason to be injury free, and just get that rhythm going, and it will come. He's a season pro. He's a season striker. 20, 25 goal a season striker. Yeah. It's going to come back to him.
If you've been feeding off if you've been feeding off scraps and your confidence is low, and then all of a sudden you get chances, but you still got that lull in confidence.
Yep.
That is going to play on your mind. You can't just expect both problems to go away. So it's like, okay, today we create a lot of chances for him. Now we got to get the confidence up. Then we get the confidence and the chance creation up.
Bang.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
Feed the goal. Yep. He will score. I told a few people in Twitter Spaces today, I want my letter of apology when he's got 20 goals.
I can't believe anyone would want to sell him right now because he's still a top quality striker.
Plus, we get peanuts. I think based on his form, if we sell him now, we're not going to get anything. And I think, as you said, he's been a bit sporadic. He's not been really on form. We can say the same with Kieran Tierney. Was impressive, but he was injury. And then we had Thomas Partey in midfield, first season, injury. And for me, if all three of them stay fit, they're going to be like new signings in itself, because we signed Partey last year, but we didn't see Thomas Partey. We saw a shell of him. And that's what I'm excited about, because today, I know it's only Rangers and I know it's only preseason. He looked levels above everybody.
Yeah.
And that's got me excited. So hopefully we can see the Thomas Partey that was at Atletico Madrid.
And that's the key thing. It's like the guy came on the last day of the transfer window. Mm-hmm. Never met the team, never met the manager. Never had. And it's for him to do what he did last season anyway, I think was in a new country, new league, everything. The settling down. People underestimate all those things. I can imagine he was probably in a hotel for a few months before actually getting his own place and things like that. And those kind of things are major when you're going to a new league and a new country. But listen, I think for him, and hopefully with Tierney, he does become that bit more robust, so to speak. I'm sure we get the best out of the three. Thanks, Tim. Yeah, his hair had suffered.
So Rob Holdings.
Yes. So Mr. Civil Fox, he's in the bookies. He works in the books. Apparently, we're 66 to 1 to put. I wouldn't mind putting a tenner on now. Yeah, do you know what I mean? You can't. Listen, what's a tenner? Hey, I don't mind losing a tenner. Oh, Mr. B's in the house. How you doing, Mr. B? False winger, Chris. You out there making up positions?
Yeah. So what I meant is like you obviously you've got wingers, you've got inverted wingers where they obviously play on the wings that are opposite to their strongest foot, but rather than being inside forwards, they're still tasked with crossing the ball into the box rather than trying to shoot. Inside forwards are almost like strikers, like wing forwards, like your Mo Salahs, your Arjen Robben was kind of a hybrid between the two, because sometimes he would call him, other times most times he would cut in and shoot, So, some players obviously where you've got like the 5 channels, where you've got like a lot of coaches look at the pitch like this and they break it up into 5 channels. You've got like your outside channels, then your kind of inner one, then you've got the central one, outer inner, and then your outer one on the right hand side. Smith Rowe kind of being in the second kind of inside channel of the left, is where he operates. He's not someone that hugs the touchline. No. Pepe can hug the touchline on the right hand side. He can also play a bit more narrow, so to say. Saka can do the both on both sides, but with Smith Rowe, when he operates in a wide area, he will never be hugging the touchline. He can, you'll always see him on the kind of inside part. And in terms of his role, it's like he can either cross, or he can it's almost like you can put him in that kind of second channel on the outside. But he's operating as an playmaker. He's almost playing as a playmaker would in the center as a number 10, but instead of doing it in the central channel, he's doing it in the outer central channel.
Yeah, gotcha.
Then drifting aside sometimes as well. So there is such a thing.
I understand that. I mean, it's kind of like a bit of a hybrid, really, of a winger come inside forward kind of thing. So I get that. I get that. Gems again. A lot of teams now rely on goals from their wingers. No need for forwards, and just need a regular scoring one. Do you know what? I think if we can get 2 key, your Pepe or Saka, and then your Martinellis or chipping in with 10, 15 goals in the season, I think that's we got goals there basically. We have goals.
I could also turn that on a Liverpool fan's head, and say that obviously Bobby Firmino operates as a false 9, and
I think he does. He does.
He's not a prolific goal scorer, but it's obvious to see.
Except when he plays us, flip's sake. This is going back obviously to your point, James. Here, Fab is our key player now, in my opinion. He's the kind of player that you need if you want to get the most out of your left and right backs for attacking. That I agree with, because you know what, the thing is, that player allows or gives the confidence for those players, those fullbacks, to actually start going forward. Do you know what I mean? Because they know that he won't lose the ball. So I don't care what.
I've often said it. He's not their best player, but he's their most important chess piece, because he's played as a right back, he's played as a centre back. So whether it means Van Dijk is shifting one to the right when Trent goes forward, and Fabinho's dropping in as another centre back, and Van Dijk's kind of there on the right. Usually, what happens is Fabinho will come across there, dropping the right back part. Operate as an auxiliary.
He gives them that security in order for them to bomb on, essentially.
Trent's almost a winger. Fabinho then can do it on the other side when Robertson goes forward. And what happens is there's like a push-pull system between Liverpool's fullbacks. You won't see them both going forward at the same time straight away. What you'll see is Trent will go forward first, and then he'll create that overload. And then, if there is space and there's no danger behind Robertson, he might come forward as well. But usually it's like one will go forward further and then one will drop deeper.
King, we need to get your whiteboard, mate. We need to get your whiteboard.
Yeah.
We need to get your whiteboard so you can, with the little magnet, so you can actually demonstrate exactly what's going on. That'd be brilliant. James, anything to add to that?
The modern game talks about number 10s, but there are teams that are successful playing without them.
No,
and you can have creativity coming from the wide areas.
Exactly.
I mean, I think so. I think the biggest hole for me in our squad at the moment is a right back and a DM. Yeah. I can't believe we haven't. Like, you can classify Thomas Partey as a DM, but for me, he's not a DM. He's more an expansive player. I don't want to say he's a box-to-box midfielder. He gets up and down, and you can put a name on it. But I think he lacks that final third output to be box-to-box. I don't know what to describe him. We'll just call him Thomas Partey because I can't put a name.
Say our box to the last third.
Yeah, essentially, right? And as Fabinho does a lot is, from what I can see, is Joe Gomez likes to dribble, Van Dijk likes to dribble, right? But sometimes they're in a position where they need to play a ball to someone, and it's either Jordan Henderson or it's Fabinho. Sure. And for me, we've seen it with Thomas Partey, where we played the ball to him, he's often lost the ball. And I think Basuma is one of those players, like a Jorginho, like a Fabinho, like someone like this, that will want the ball and then will just ping it. He's done it so many, just from watching him against us, when he's played the past 2 seasons, the amount of times I've seen him take the ball, either pass it or take the ball, beat one, and then get fouled, and then you go again. For me, that we don't have that player. And if you want to say a DM, we have El Neni, right? That's not levels. That's 10th place. We need an improvement, and
100%. Just obviously quickly then for Mr. Fox, Aubameyang's performance. Yeah, obviously going on with regards to the crowd. And exactly, can remember when Keane was bossing it in the number 14 shirt. And then everyone, he's a false 9. They rely on the scoring wingers. You stop Mane and Salah, you stop Liverpool, in my opinion. Guys, so obviously back now to the actual game itself. I mean, Rangers took the lead. We equalised. Good goal. Again, Rangers took the lead with a header at the far post, so to speak. And then Nketiah putting himself in the shop window for hopefully Palace.
Vieira needs to snap him up.
Yeah, Vieira, come on, mate, what are you doing? He equalised. Not a bad finish, to be fair. But I think in terms of from the first half and the players that actually started the game, anyone stand out for you? Any concerns from the guys in the first half at all?
You go.
Oh, sorry, I was just going to say my major concerns is in 2 games we've conceded 3 goals from set pieces.
And we didn't concede any, hardly any, did we, last year? So that's a bit. Something's gone awry there.
We've got a new set piece coach. He's only had like 2 or 3 sessions to work with the players. And I guess you could look at it as well, like in preseason when you're chopping and changing who's in defense, who's in midfield, who's doing the marking. The marking systems that you're using based on who you're playing with. Maybe you could argue not to read into that too deeply, but it is a big concern.
I'm not reading into it too deeply. I think we've got. Yes, there are preseason games, but we do have sterner tests to come in those. And if it then becomes a theme, a reoccurring theme, then there will be an issue.
But all 3 of those goals looked at in isolation were poor goals to concede from set pieces. It wasn't like
yeah. I think Hibbs' goal was actually offside. It would have been ruled out with VAR. But yes, the guy won the first header at the end of the day, didn't he? In the Hibbs game. So there is obviously something that needs to be rectified. Going forward. Yourself, James.
Obviously the set piece, but apart from that, I think the players that started, I think we played reasonably well. I thought we dominated the first half.
Yeah.
there was 3 players that I was really impressed with. I was really impressed with Tavares. I was really impressed with Thomas Partey, and I was really impressed with Emma Smith-Rowe. I think those 3 had a really, really good game, especially Tavares and Emma Smith-Rowe. I just liked, I don't know if it's me being short, I don't know, stupid, but from what I can see of Emma Smith-Rowe is he's on the ball a lot more. He's more direct. He's more, okay, I'm going to take you on, and I'm going to, it's not like, okay, I'm going to take the ball, wait, pass it sideways. He's on it. He's just running.
Do you know what that comes to it? What I think that is, and I'm obviously going to go into the guys who played on it in the second half. Sorry to cut you there. But what I like in that, all it is, it's just one little thing, and it's a mental, it's confidence.
Yeah.
Willock, for me, has come back as a different player.
Yeah, I think so.
I didn't recognize that Willock.
No, he was good. I think what we've got now is Arteta is obviously working with Smith-Rowe. He's openly said it anyway, but he's working with him to add more goals into his game. This is something he says for Emma Smith-Rowe to become an elite player, he needs to bang goals. Yeah. Now we've got not 2 profiles that are similar, but 2 players. You saw what Joe Willock was doing at Newcastle, and you saw in the small sample size today versus Rangers is he's being smart with the ball when he's running, and it's not just a mindless, I'm going to be direct with the ball because I want to go to the goal. It's I'm thinking about where I'm going to be with the ball, and it's more intelligent runs, and there's a bigger thought process to it. And with Willock, he looks I don't know if he looks a different player. He just looks like a much more matured version of what we have seen with his talent.
Sure. Yeah, but you know what? And I think that's down to confidence, and you know the maybe the realization from himself and the belief that I belong here. Yep. You know, not rather than, oh my God, I need to please or whoever. You know, knowing that he belongs there. Yes, Dizzy, big up. Confident. Thank you for joining. Sorry, King.
People.
Sorry?
Dizzy's from Ghana, man. So I was saying big up my Ghanaian people. Man.
Actually, in Ghana. Is in Ghana?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Sure. If he is, we're truly international. We can say that. But if he's not, big up still. How you doing? And we have our foundation as well. Gumsa, Kelvin, how you doing, sir? Sorry that you couldn't join us today. Would have been good to have your insight because we did have a tactical question or a tactical kind of like insight. We needed you, bro, to shed some light on what Arteta's trying to do. But second half, as I said, made wholesale changes. We went behind. We come back again. In the second half, anyone stand up for you in terms of a case of putting themselves in well and truly in the shop window, or trying to fight for a place in the squad? And James, anyone from yourself?
Well, as I said before, the standout player for me in the second half was Willock. I think he had the better game. I think Maitland-Niles was a bit mixed. There was some patches where he was on the ball and he was running, he's been direct, and it looked good. But then he seemed to be doing too much, and he lost the ball a few times. So I don't know. For me, the team that was in the first half was very good. The team in the second half was a bit not lackluster, but there wasn't any
disjointed.
Maybe Lacazette. Lacazette looked pretty good, but it was really Joe Willock that caught my eye. Yeah.
And yourself, King?
I agree. I thought Willock was excellent with the chance that he was given. I think he took it. I think he performed very well. Smith-Rowe was good in the second half as well. I don't think Bellerin was terrible, but then again, he was at fault for the goal. I would say with the marking. How
many times have we said that? Throughout the season, it wasn't that bad, but he was at fault for the goal.
But, he did have a few chances, or he was involved in some of the build-up play going forward. So maybe he's in the shop window in that sense, I would say. Nketiah obviously getting his goal. I think I agree with James. Some of his overall play was a bit mixed. There were moments where he did lose the ball, but there were moments where he had good touches, took his goal well. I want to say, obviously, after the Hibs game as well, shout out to Onkonkwo, sorry. I can't say his name. After the mistake he made against Hibs.
Was it a Cronco? I think.
Yeah.
I need to put my teeth back in.
I need to ask the missus, man. She'll be able to tell me how that
okay.
But look, I mean, big ups to him for, obviously coming into the team again today. He wasn't at fault for any of the goals. The second half goal, they had he in goal anyway. I think I want to give him a special mention. And,
it's hard for him to, because he did make a massive howler against Hibs. It was and it's good for Arteta to kind of say, no, do you know what? No, I'm throwing you back in. And you know what? These are the moments in football, I guess, where you actually start getting that hardened kind of attitude towards things and seeing whether or not you actually sink and swim in this environment. So it's good to put him back in.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think two players I think I'd be a little, I don't want to be critical, I'd say that I'd want more from would be Cedric and El Neni. Cedric, especially in the first half, misplaced quite a lot of passes. I think that definitely highlights the problem we do have at right back still. And El Neni, I think some of his passes were a bit misplaced. But yeah, I would say there's room for improvement on what I saw from him today.
Let's just hope in the next week we get some more news. It probably looks more so. Ben White is pretty much signed, sealed, and pretty much delivered. We're just waiting for the officials.
I'm gassed for that signing. I'm so excited for this signing.
Yeah.
I think if I get a shirt, I don't know if I'm going to get a shirt yet, but if I get a shirt, it's going to be Ben White's name on the back of it. Like, for me, I was doing a little bit of a looking because I know we spoke about the centre-backs liking to dribble. Last season in the Prem, he had the most dribbles out of the centre-back coming out from the box to progress the ball. So I'm so excited for him.
Yeah.
He's
do you know what the thing is?
On the ball for a centre-back.
Yeah.
He's
do you know what? I thought... Yeah, exactly that. And one of the things, when it was all coming about that we were signing, and my first instinct was like, why? Why we need other positions to get that first? But when something comes up, and I think sometimes if you have a particular way that you want to play, and I can see now the way Arteta wants to do, how he wants to kind of, have his defense. And if you can take, how would I say, that burden, just be that bit more kind of stringent at the back, that bit more miserly or whatever. And it allows the forward players to do what they need to do. And I think, as you say, he comes out with the ball well. And I'm excited, actually. I'm looking forward to seeing him playing. Hopefully he'll integrate very seamlessly when he does start coming, into training. But hopefully it'll all be all official soon enough. And I'm wondering if they're trying to do this whole PR stunt with regards to do multiple transfers at the one time. When Wenger did contract, Then you got
Lokonga, Ben White. You heard it here first. They're all going to be announced next week.
Well, same day or different days?
I would love it if it's the same day. That would be even better.
That would be Arsenal Day, isn't it? That would be brilliant.
Yeah. Oh, and Smith Rowe's number as well. Are we going to give him the number 10?
That's the thing. I mean, I heard that photo was a Photoshop, basically.
Yeah,
it was a Photoshop. I heard it was a fake. He's not number 10, but listen, I wouldn't argue with him being a number 10. Hey. Oh. Let's see. Just lastly, into next, that'll be easier. That'll be a heck of a tough game. They'll have no Lukaku, so that'd be cool.
Is he injured?
No, he can't be back yet, can he? He's just
of course, because of Belgium, the
Euros. So he can't be back. So good. He always gives us trouble. He does. Guys, that's it. I think I can't think anything else to say in terms of, look, it's money in the bank. It's, you know, for the legs, you know, and getting the rhythm and everything. Listen, we've drawn 2-2.
One more thing I want to say.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's all right. Sorry.
Yep.
The rival fans that have been like, obviously, you've got a lot to say. Okay, we didn't win against Rangers. Maybe they're a team we should be beating, but obviously they're unbeaten last season. Hibs, we should have really won against them. I just mind the rival fans, of this, what Canners was saying the other day. And this tweet has been gaining life all week. Look at that. This tweet has got as one of my ticks on my TikTok page. Excellent, I've never seen anything like it. I'm still trying to raise the levels with my tweet. Here comes Canners with an absolute belter. Right. Just remember this, rival fans. And it's also, Bayern Munich are losing at the moment. Bayern Munich are losing 3-1 against Cologne. So what are we saying? That Bayern's season is all?
That's the thing. That's the thing. Let's all get on Twitter and start, you know, getting on that Bayern Munich. They're rubbish. They're finished. They're done for. Blah blah blah. Listen, I think people just
another thing you mentioned.
Yep.
No, sorry. Carry on.
No. I was just saying that you know, nothing's won or lost right now. This is all about getting rhythm, getting fitness. Once the players come back in, you know what, we'll start seeing gradually more and more kind of like competitiveness in the players, etc. So it's all about perspective. That tweet was about. That was all. Just don't all get carried away. Exactly. Go ahead, King.
And it's going to get another retweet from me today anyway. But one more thing I want to do is shout out the PAXTON Road Massive. Shout out for draw and you know, the search for a trophy.
Wait. King, you've been breaking up there. Say that again. What happened?
I was saying, Spurs drew today, so shout out the PAXTON Massive. Clearly, Ndombele must have really hit up the crowd against who? Was it Peterborough?
They played Leyton Orient, didn't they?
All I know,
they played Leyton Orient.
1-1. And as a result, they couldn't even win their own trophy. Well, they could, but they got to share it with Peterborough or Leyton Orient. Sorry, talking about not belly over party. Behave yourself. Behave your absolute self. Know your.
Exactly. That's a bit of a comeback for you guys. And the funny thing is, obviously for them, preseason means everything. So no doubt, let's have a little banter with those guys. 1-1 against Leyton Orient.
Levels. There are levels.
Guys, I want to thank you. Listen, as we know, preseason is all about getting money in the bank, getting the fitness up, rhythm. Don't look too much into results, people. Come on. Yeah, we're in mid-July. Transfers ain't been settled out as yet. And obviously, we'll, throughout the week, have more from yourself, GunnerKing. I think you're going to have a busy week, bro, with GunnerKing's Court. Look out for that, people. And obviously, for our next preseason game, we'll do a reaction. But GunnerKing Court coming up next week. Let's hope for a nice, busy week and a lot of comings and goings with that. So, guys, big up. Thank you very much. As ever, it's been emotional. And to the next show. Peace. We are Arsenal. We love Arsenal.